In today's class, we will go through the different types of crossing which you can see on the railway track. Now you know that a crossing is a device which provides two flangeways through which the wheels may move when two rails intersect each other at an angle. What you can see in the figure is the components of a crossing. You know that this is the crossing nose. A V shape is over here. It is the crossing nose, or it is also known as the frog of a turnout. Okay. Now this, you can see the check rails. You can see a check rail over here. You can also see wing rails over here. Then switch rails are there. Means the tapered rail will be there. So these all things come under the components of crossing. So simply what we can say is, when one railway track is intersecting with another, or if it is crossing another railway track, then that is known as, or that arrangement is known as crossing. There are different types of crossing. In some crossings we require points or switches, and in some crossings, for example, if the track is getting, or if it is meeting at 90 degree, then there is no need of a switch or point. Now when the tracks has to get diverted from the existing track to another, then there we require switch or points. So now let's go through different crossings, and while telling the crossings, I'll tell you for which crossings points are required and for which crossing points are not required. So mainly the types of crossings include square crossing, diamond crossing, crossover, scissor crossing, and symmetrical split. Let's go through each one by one. Coming to square crossing, you can see in the figure that the railway track is intersecting each other at 90 degree. So here there is no need of points. If from one track, if it is getting diverted to another, for that diversion only we are providing the points or switches. Since here there is no need of diverting one train to another, here they are separately moving, so there is no need of any points or switches here. Here the railway track is intersecting each other at 90 degree. Okay, and this is known as square crossing because here a square is formed. You can see over here a square is formed. So this crossing is known as the square crossing. Okay. Now coming to the next crossing. This is the diamond crossing. Diamond crossing means if the railway track is intersecting another railway track at an angle more than 90 degree, then it is called a diamond crossing. So here also no points are required. Now this kind of crossing can be seen at Nagpur, where the now north-south connecting railway track and that of the east-west connecting railway track, the merging point, that is a diamond crossing. So here you can see the angle which it is making. Okay, the angle which it is making is more than 90 degree. Here also the angle which it is making is more than, here the angle which it is making is more than 90 degree. So it is a diamond crossing. So this crossing is also named as obtuse angle crossing, since the angle which it makes is more than 90 degree. Now next crossing is the crossover. So what you can see here is a crossing, the usual crossing what we see, and the angle which it makes, that is the crossing angle over here. This is the crossing angle. This angle is less than 90 degree. So this crossover is also known as acute crossing. Okay, since the angle is less than 90 degree, the crossover is also named as acute crossing. So here if the railway train or railway track has to get diverted from one to another, then points or switches are essential, because if this is the main track, and if this is the main track and if it has to go to this track, okay, this is the main track, and if the coming train has to go to this track, then the points and switches arrangement should be there for the diversion. So here points or switches are required. Now coming to next track, next crossing, which is known as the scissor crossing. Scissor crossing is named so because you can see in the figure it is in the shape of a scissor. Okay, here you can see 4 turnouts: turnout A, turnout B, turnout C, turnout D. So this is in the form of a scissor, so it is named so. Here also for shifting one train to another, or shifting the train which is present in one track to another, we require points. And one more thing is there, the scissor crossing as well as crossover can be seen somewhere near the platform, because if an existing track is there in one platform, then in order to change the direction or in order to divert the train, usually these arrangements will be seen near the platforms. Now coming to the next crossing, this is the symmetrical split crossing. Okay, so here you can see two diversions. Here two diversions are of same degree, or you can say the radius of track here of the main track is equal to the radius of turnout curve. Okay, when both the curves or when both the tracks have same degree of curve, then that is known as symmetrical split. Here also we require points as it is to be shifted from one track to another. So what you can see over here is a horizontal curve is there for the main track and a horizontal curve is maintained for a branch line, and the degree of curve for both the main track as well as the branch line or the turnout curve here will be same. So combinedly what we can say is points and crossings is an arrangement which is being used for the diversion of trains from one track to another. But when you study it, you can understand that for some of the crossings, points are very essential and for some, points are not required. Okay.